Hello and welcome everyone. I'm Type V3 and this is whatever. You know the line and exactly who this is. It's the 1 to 144th scale high-grade Gouf R35, Mr. Rao's custom mobile suit and one of the last Gunpla kits to make an appearance in Gundam Build Fighters. Unboxing the Gouf R35 reveals a total of 10 runners molded in blue, gray, and clear amber. Interestingly, there's two slightly different shades of blue as well as two different types of gray provided. A small sticker sheet rounds out the parts count. The complexity of the build is straightforward. You construct individual sections and connect them with multiple polycaps. It's a process typical to that of a modern high-grade Gundam, and easy enough for a builder of any level to tackle. The Gouf R35 makes for one beefy mobile suit when fully assembled. A lot of the sculpting is sharp and on point with the original animation model. The clear amber stomach looks great and comes off very jewel-like. Some of the proportions are a bit off, the shields are oversized, as is the ankle armor, but this is unquestionably the R35 seen in the anime. As for the general color of the plastics, I absolutely adore them. The majority is a rich royal azure, followed up with a lighter blue underneath, the difference between them being almost undistinguishable unless closely examined. To be honest, these may be a shade or two off from the original artwork, still I prefer their softer pastelish vibe. For extra details you'll need to add in, there's not much to do. Painting the undersides of the shields gray are the main section for complete animation accuracy. Panel lining opportunities are fairly minimal too. The body doesn't have much to offer, with most of the focus being on the plastic hoses around the head and torso. All in all, the Gouf is a fantastic looking kit right out of the box that requires little touch-ups. Articulation starts with a double neck ball joint, so you can do the whole back and forth, look down, look up, side to side, and for the mono eye, there's actually a little toggle here at the bottom, and this will let you push the eye to either direction so that you can choose how to display the way he looks. Now the torso itself, there is a ball joint right at the waist, and these hoses here, you may think they restrict, but it's actually the design of the waist skirt that really does most of the restriction. But that said, he can still move side to side. You can also pull slightly up on the mid-torso here for a bit of up and down and side rotation. There is a swing out polycap for the shoulder, and there's a hinge that moves the shoulder outwards. Now, thankfully, the shoulder armor is connected on an outward hinge over here, so whenever you move the arm up, it slides automatically, which is really nice. There is a bicep swivel and a double jointed elbow, along with a ball jointed wrist. Now, this shield and Vulcan combination can get a bit, they can collide with a lot of things, so although this can swivel, you can just take it off. And as for the gun Vulcans themselves, these are shaped like hands, with a joint here at the base and at the mid-knuckle, and the thumb and pinky finger can come in and out. Of course, if you don't like these at all, you could just take them off and then just have the Gouf with a regular unarmed arm. Each of the hip skirts are on ball joints that go forward and sort of side to side, but they're not connected on the middle crotch section. They're connected to this side skirt here. So when this side skirt moves out, they take the front skirts with it. Now, of course, the hosing here on the sides does limit outward movement, but forward extension is okay, and the back side does not move at all. Of course, this does make hip rotation and articulation a bit limited. However, when you move the leg forward, they nicely split, and they give you a pretty decent forward kick. Outward kick is, again, limited, but pretty decent. There's a thigh swivel and a double jointed knee with a semi-floating knee pad, so that's pretty cool. As for the ankle, it's a large hinge on a ball joint that can do a good amount of rotation side to side and up and down, but the toe has this really good wide range of movement for forward kicking, so that's really great on a very good crouched position. So here's the thing about the R35's articulation. It's obviously limited, yet it's such an enjoyable model kit to pose because of how all the joints work in tandem with each other. It's also not fiddly and has excellent balance, making for an incredibly fluid posing experience. Moving on to the accessories, and we'll start with the hands. There's only two options and both are fists. One pair can hold weapons while the other is completely closed. Personally, I would have dropped the closed fists for an open palm option instead. The first weapon we'll highlight is the Heat Rod. It looks okay for what it is. It's somewhat malleable and can only be plugged into the right arm. I'm not a fan, but I suppose this has always been a love or hate type of tentacle weapon. Next are the Heat Sabers. You simply pull the hilts out from the legs and attach the beautiful clear amber blade pieces. These are awesome just for their uniqueness. Unfortunately, because of the way the shield and the Vulcan pods are mounted on the arms, posing the swords properly can be difficult. Removing the arm pieces altogether will maximize melee effectiveness. Also, should you choose, you can store the swords underneath the shields instead. It adds nice variety, though this does make me wish the kit came with 4 saber hilts instead of 2. Finally, the R35 includes a custom backpack. It's reminiscent of a basic spacefaring, high mobility type add-on. It breaks down into 2 pieces so you can use the rocket boosters and the stabilizer separately. Furthermore, there's a trio of adapters so that you can mount the backpack on other high grades or have different backpacks mounted on the Gouf. I love the high-grade Gouf R35. In the simplest of terms, it's the perfect balance between a model kit and a toy. The solid construction is paired with excellent out-of-the-box presentation that makes for a great display piece. Conversely, there's a sound argument that the Gouf makes for an easy pickup and play experience too, backed by its fluid articulation and well-implemented features. Moreover, there's virtually no flaws to be found. Of course, this is to be expected considering the R35 is essentially an all-new model kit constructed with the most recent high-grade standards. I will admit, however, that the Gouf R35 isn't the most spectacular build fighter release. It is very much what you see is what you get. Nevertheless, it's excellent all around and one of the finest model kits in the lineup. Honestly, if it weren't for my attraction to the Camp for Amazing's design, the high-grade Gouf R35 would easily be my favorite Gundam build fighters release. But that's all for me. Thanks for watching, and where exactly does the R35 naming scheme come from? All I can think of is the current Nissan GTR, but I highly doubt this Gouf was named after a car.